Welcome to Expat American. I am the Expat American, standing in Moscow, Russia, and today I want to do an experiment. I want you to think of your city right now that you live in. I'm in Moscow in their most famous park, Gorky Park, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk from this park to the center of Moscow, Red Square, and I'm just going to look around and see what it looks like. The question, is Moscow dirty? And what I want you to ask yourself is, imagine if you were in your most famous park in your city and you took a walk from that park to the center of town, to your town square, what would it look like? Would it be beautiful? Would it be the most perfect vision of mix of America and Europe? Or would it be something with scary places, scary people, and dirty things? And with me on this adventure will be a cleanliness expert, NIKOLAI Shores, an American with a unique name.
Atlanta does not have a pirate ship downtown. That is awesome, whatever it is.
I can tell you when we get closer, actually.
I look at it now, and it's not a scary place at all. In fact, it's a beautiful place.
NIKOLAI! I thought so!
How's it going, man?
Okay, first up, this is the ground of the park. How's the tile? A little bit of rust there maybe, but it looks pretty clean. Only a few broken pieces. We got well-groomed bushes, and we have a beautiful entrance gate to Gorky Park, which to me looks like the German gate, the Brandenburg Gate. And what else is interesting is you see that right there, hammer and sickle. So when you walk through Moscow, you see little bits of history like that. It's really cool because they wouldn't put it up today, but they're not going to take it down now. I think the important thing for me, and possibly for you to think about as we take this journey, is it dangerous or not? It just rained throughout the weekend. This is the first day of the week. So it's a work day, and it's gonna start snowing sometime maybe this month or at the very end of the month. And so I wanted to do this video before the snow covers up and hides all the possible evidence of whether or not Moscow's a dirty city. So no tricks here. And you can see, there's puddles everywhere, so don't let the shininess fool you. We have stepped into a space that is pretty common throughout Moscow. They build these little, markets, I guess you could call it, with food and sometimes carnival rides, like little ones. And right now we can smell what smells like frying oil, like what you would make a funnel cake in. We just stepped out of this little thing that they built here, and we are immediately on the river. This is the Moscow River. So we're on the border of the park and this little river walk here. And take a look. Do you see anything that would be scary? Like I say, scary people, scary places, dirty things. I like the boats going by, lots of different types of boats, and you can actually get a ticket for like a dinner cruise for a couple hours, which is nice. I did that with my family once. But NIKOLAI, as we go through here, tell us, who are you?
Who am I? I'm an American. My birth name is Stephen, so that solves the name dilemma. I was baptized into the Orthodox Church in 2021 and took the name NIKOLAI after St. Nicholas of Japan. I am an Atlanta native, born and bred in the South, just on the edge of Rednecksville, so I can talk in an authentic Southern accent if needed, but people can also understand me if needed. So I'm diverse that way.
Yes, we have met for the first time ever in person, but we actually spent most of our lives only 4 hours from each other. I in Tallahassee, Florida, and he in Atlanta, Georgia, and I definitely have trained myself out of my country accent, and I guess NIKOLAI thinks he has too.
I hope so.
There's the market we just walked out of, and that is the gate entrance, side entrance to the park. The other big gate we saw was the main entrance. Here's the river. And do you see any trash or gum or cigarettes? And how does it compare to, you know, your sidewalks? Maybe you have a river walk in your city. What does it look like? It's a work day, and it's getting a little cold, so there's not a lot of people out. There's a nice bridge here that we're going to go under, and hopefully it won't be scary. And NIKOLAI, are you scared?
I am noticing no tent cities under here, and it's very nice. It looks like there's benches here. You could enjoy a nice summer day if it was summer.
Yeah, I have noticed that in my year and a half here. That even underneath the bridges, which is a sight that people don't see unless they're walking necessarily, a few of them, it's like clean. I mean, it's not like rusting and degrading. How does this country, Russia, and of course we're in Moscow City, compare to your country, America, let's say Atlanta, Georgia, where you're from?
It feels safer. It feels cleaner than Atlanta. It is significantly more walkable than Atlanta. The metro system is outstanding.
You see there's different colored bricks, and you know, it's not just a stark white sidewalk. They've got a bike path right there, and it's painted to let people know that's where bikes go and that's the direction the bikes go in on that side. You got nice wooden benches here. I've noticed that Moscow is windier than what I grew up with in Florida. For the bike path, they also have little ramps that go up and down just to, I guess, give you some fun as you're riding your bike. Now we have come to what you said was a pirate ship. I know you know it's not really a pirate ship. So when we get closer, I'll do a zoom in. That guy on there is Peter, the leader of Russia. Peter the First, Peter the Great. And that statue was made for St. Petersburg, the city that he helped build. And from what I understand, you can tell me in the comments if I'm wrong, the people of St. Petersburg did not like it. And so it ended up here. And I believe some people don't like it here either. I assume maybe it's meant to be like a funnel of water, and you've got several ships sticking out of it, so maybe that's like his fleet. And then the main ship is on top of the fountain of water, and he's standing in it with an important piece of paper, I gather.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, NIKOLAI. I mean, look at these buildings and the way they're designed and the different colors. So, you know, the question for a lot of people in the West, and the big question for me too when I started to discover this place is it the bad guy place? Is it dangerous? Is it scary? If it's not the bad guy place, even if it's just a normal place, why does it look so nice? It doesn't have to look so nice. You know, I mean, it costs money to build this stuff. It costs money for the government to provide this stuff, you know? I mean, there's government buildings and public parks. This is not just a product of capitalism being wonderful. It's a mixture of capitalism, I'm sure, and the government as well. What you've been seeing since you came here, how does it compare to what you saw on TV, in the news, on the computer, on the internet?
Very, very different. In American media, all of Russia is an extremely scary place. It is all gray, It is all red. It is all scary all the time. Here I see a very nice city full of people minding their own business. A lot of people are very friendly. You won't see Russians outwardly smiling a lot, but if you ask them directions, they're extremely friendly, and sometimes they will even take you to the place that you're looking for. If you look at the anti-Russian perspective, you could probably find things that sort of kind of confirm that, but you'd have to do a lot of editing and a lot of propaganda work to make it sort of fit.
Because you think it is more propaganda if they're trying to make Russia look bad.
Exactly.
We are further down the river now, and here are some more buildings next to us, and you saw a construction zone we just walked through. So like I said, I'm going to show you everything. I'm not going to hide stuff. Uh-oh. You see that? There's a police car back there. All right, NIKOLAI, let's get moving. Let's get away from them. So, seriously, what do you think of the police here? How do you feel?
You mean the police that haven't bothered me whatsoever?
We grew up watching all these movies, and it seems like, oh my gosh, you know, the idea of coming to Russia for an American is scary. And so much so that even if you've been told it's not, once you get here, you'll be a little bit paranoid at first being around the police. And then you realize they're here to help you. And I have had no issues with the police, ever. Of course, I recommend that you are a law-abiding person, which is what I am all for. And if you're not law-abiding, please don't come, because Russia doesn't want you here, and neither do I. It looks like a glass elevator for that bridge. Do your city bridges have glass elevators next to them? If you're new to this channel, I'm an American with a Russian wife and 5 kids. We live in Moscow, and we don't like that there's a new Cold War, so we have our channel here where we make exciting, interesting, informative, hopefully funny videos, and we just want to show the world, show the West, show English speakers what Russia's really like. So that's what we're trying to do with this channel. And actually, I've known this guy for, what, about 9 months?
Yes.
Online, because I got a chance to speak in Russian Parliament, and he did too, and that's where I saw him. And he was in America on a TV screen. I was also on a TV screen because I was in my flat in Moscow, and I remember your sound was not working that well, and I felt sorry for you. I was like, this poor American, he's trying to speak and his sound's not working. They also said, when I was going to speak, they said, okay, Joseph, we want you to talk about life in Russia on your channel, and we're going to show the opening montage of your channel, the music, the dun 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 dun, and all the quick cuts, and then you're going to speak. And so they're talking Russian. I have no idea what they're talking about, and I just hear my name, so I know it's almost my turn, and then they all look at me. So it's this big long table of, you know, Russian politicians and stuff, and so then I, of course, am waiting for my intro to play. I'm waiting to hear the music. So there's this awkward pause, and my wife is not with me. She's actually in the room sitting next to the government guys, and another YouTuber I'm friends with, Stan Filanon, I probably said his name wrong, and I just remember Stan looking at me with these big wide eyes, this big smile, like, Joe, speak already. And I realized they were not going to play the intro after all. So I started speaking. Do you see any trash? See any gum? See any dirty places? Check it out, guys. This is a flower shop, and what do you see? It's October, it's fall, and you've got the same fall decorations that I would see in America. And in Cyrillic, that says supermarket, as in supermarket. Wheat and a sickle on the bridge. A sickle as in a hammer and sickle. So they are putting on their bridge in the center of Moscow, you know, a symbol of food and growing crops and working hard. You see the little Russian flag on the back of that boat? I see Russian flags everywhere in Russia. So people are taking pride in their country, which I think is good. And we're on top of this big bridge here now. as we approach Red Square, the end of our destination. What are your plans for Russia? Your future plans? Because you're just on vacation for like 3 months, which is also crazy, but what's your life plans for Russia?
We're checking out the different American villages here.
So you think you might live here one day then?
Yes, potentially. There are some challenges, most notably money challenges, owing to the difficulties going on in the world right now.
You mean the sanctions?
Yes, getting money to and from Russia is a challenge.
You can say sanctions.
Sanctions.
The algorithm likes that word. It's a good word to say. You
Sanctions.
can't say it enough.
Sanctions.
There are other words you
Scary.
definitely should not say. How does this city compare to your city? In what ways is it exactly the same with people and cars and buildings and whatnot? And in what ways is it different? That guy's definitely thinking seriously about stuff. Metro right there. So in Russia, the underground subway is called the metro. In England, it's the underground. In Britain. And in America, it's a subway. We've taken one of the underground pedestrian tunnels to get through the traffic and make it to the Kremlin, Red Square, the center of Moscow. And here it is. Take a look around, guys. How does it look compared to your center of town, your center city square? In terms of design, in terms of cleanliness, in terms of safety, scary people, scary places, dirty things. What do you see? I just broke my selfie stick. Selfie stick number 2, dead.
Oh no.
You know what this means, Nikolai?
New equipment.
And it means you don't get to be in the closing of the show.
Uh-oh.
So you have to hold my camera. Russia has trash cans? Yes, trash cans and people. How do Russian people look compared to people in your city? Here we are at the gate to Red Square. My selfie stick is broken, so I'm going to end the video now. But if you want to see the center of Red Square, click over to NIKOLAI's show right now. I'm going to be on his show, and his show is going to be centered on Orthodox life in Russia, I believe, something like that. I wish he was standing next to me to tell you this, but he has to be the cameraman right now because my cameraman Josiah is not with me and the selfie stick's broken. But he has not been inside Red Square yet because he just got here like a week or so ago. So on his show, I'm excited that you will get to see him seeing it for the first time, and I will get to see him seeing it for the first time. Click like, click subscribe, ring the bell notification, click the share button right now, interrupt my speech, send this to your friends, click the box to see what happens next. But first, leave a comment and let me know, what did you think? Is Moscow what you thought it was? Is Russia what you thought it was?
What is snow?
Сейчас H2O in its frozen fluffy form. Yes, that's
Ah, no.
Nikolai's trying to scare me. I'm filming, it won't work. This channel's a year old now, so I will not be phased. Are you recording?
I am recording.
Fantastic. Why are you with that hand again? What's wrong with you, Nikolai? It's the wrong hand. It needs to be away from us. Up and away.
Okay.
Very good, very good. Yeah, it's just like that. That's good.
Okay.
Nikolai. I forgot what I was going to say. See you on Nikolai's show.